Welcome back to Doing Good While Profiting. We're sharing short stories from businesses and business leaders that are creatively giving back with their profits. I'm your host, Alex Sanfilippo, and joining me today is Paul and Kelsey Tompkins. Guys, how are y'all?
We're great. How are you?
Doing good. Excited to be here with you guys because I love what you all are doing. Can we start off with that? How are you guys making profit today? What is it that you guys are doing?
Go ahead. You want to talk?
Which avenue are we taking?
Yeah. So we own a company called Flippin Experts, and we buy, sell real estate, fix and flips, rentals, some commercial deals. And we've done that for a long time, and it's just been a great business for us and our family. And it's helped us create the wealth we've always wanted, which in turn lets us help other people. So we're in the real estate industry.
Love it. Paul and Kelsey, I can tell you, you all don't usually do this together. So Kelsey, what about what's your take on this, on your business?
Yeah.
Let's hear your side of it.
So right now, business is amazingly great. We are so blessed. We were able to close on 3 houses already this month in the middle of this pandemic. So we are so thankful that everything's still going in the real estate world.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen any real change? Have you guys, like, from your perspective, has a lot changed in the real estate industry and things like that?
No, some of the county courthouses have closed where maybe there's foreclosures or something going through. Mm-hmm. But as far as real estate agents, real estate moving, it's still a hot market. I mean, we have 2 more closings coming up next week. People are still buying. People still need a place to live. And that's what we love about real estate, whether it's an apartment rental or a house rental or just buying a house. This economy is a lot different than what happened in 2008. And I don't know if a lot of people realize the 2 differences, but I think we will feel it, Alex, down the road, maybe in 6 months if people start to get evicted and a lot of people actually lose their jobs. But as of right now, everything's going well on our end.
That's cool. That's exciting. You know what? I got to say this about you guys. I love the business that you have and the fact that you two do it together. I'm getting a little bit annoyed that I don't get to watch you all on TV. I have to open up Instagram or Facebook to watch you guys. I'm like waiting for the day that you guys are on TV at some point because you guys are like that couple that's literally doing all this. I mean, like, Paul, you're obviously a genius and clearly a stickler for making sure everything's great in these homes. And then Kelsey makes them absolutely beautiful. It's really cool what you guys do together.
I appreciate
share a little bit about how has it been you two working together even during this time that might be a little bit more stressful? Do you guys find that you all are able to come together more, or has it been more complicated? What are your thoughts on that?
The great thing is we're used to being together all the time. We work together, we live together, we get to play together. So that hasn't really changed too much at all. We're a perfect team because we're kind of opposites. Yeah. Paul's very analytical and he gets the details down. I'm very design oriented. His strengths are my weaknesses and vice versa. So we're always playing off of each other, which I think helps us make it through all the together time.
Yeah. And we, normally I'm on the road 3 to 4 days a week, looking at houses, buying houses, looking at apartment complexes, meeting renovation crews. And Kelsey's comes out once or twice a week with new staging and new design and make sure the contractor understands what she's envisioning. Mm-hmm. So we might not be out on the road as much, but a lot of our business, Alex, we already did virtually. A lot of it's easy for a contractor to send me a video of what their question is, or a wholesaler or a realtor send me pictures and video of a house, and I can literally look at it and estimate the rehab pretty close and put an offer in and still have an inspection period of 10 days, 15 days where I can get out there and look at it. So we're really not much has changed in our aspect. I might not be on the road as much because we're leaning more on our contractors and our supervisors to actually, they're out there, take the pictures, take the videos. But we were always like that because we like saving time and energy and mileage and gas. And so it hasn't affected us too much.
That's cool. And it's exciting that you guys are also keeping people employed right now. Like, you have full teams working for you still right now. Like, you haven't slowed down on that at all, or kind of consolidated people. You're still reaching out, finding more people to be working, right?
Yeah. I mean, wholesalers, realtor, everybody's like, are you still buying? I'm like, please send them. Please send them over.
That's good.
We're still buying. Like she said, I think we've sold 5, 6, or 7 in the last 30, 40 days, and they're still selling. And when they still sell, I mean, we move our contractors to the next house. So they haven't slowed down. We've actually promised them employment through this. Like, hey guys, even if something was to come, but in our industry, we use, there's a cycle, and we normally always have houses coming in, houses always under renovation, houses always selling, and then that money just gets redistributed to buying more houses. So with everybody still selling houses, the cycle continues. So therefore contractors are still working. Yeah.
That's great. That's exciting. I love the fact that you guys are keeping people employed right now with the unemployment rate so high. It's awesome that you guys are part of that solution and continue to have teams working for you and stuff. I absolutely love that because, I mean, jobs are what are needed, and it's the stability that people are looking for. So I'm really excited that you all are doing that. Now, before I move on to the next part of this, because people will freak out if I don't ask this, we've got the whole group of people that are waiting for like a giant drop in the market to buy a house. Or people that won't sell their house because they're like, there's gonna be a huge drop and I'm not gonna be able to sell my house. Can you talk to those people just for a moment? Because I know that question will come. People will be like, why didn't they cover this? So we have to talk about that.
Great
so
question.
Just your expert opinion, both of you, on this topic before we move on in this conversation, talk about how you guys are giving back and doing good. But first, let's answer this question real quick.
Yeah, I think it's silly to wait for anything, Alex, because if you're sitting, you're stagnant, you're not moving, you're not growing, you're not creating a profit like you're talking about. So for us, if you know the last 5-6 years, for investors, we've been paying top dollar for properties, okay? But we're still making tons of money. So to me, yes, we make more money when the markets are down. We make more money when the economy's or something like the COVID virus happens. We don't enjoy that. We don't like that. But we still want to provide houses and income for people that need it. So yes, we make more money in the downslope. Is there one coming? In my opinion, 5 or 6 months, you'll start to see a lot of these short-term rentals, these Airbnbs, these hotels, these traveling places, you know, rental cabins and that. They're going to feel the effect of not being able to rent. And a lot of people are already asking for their money back. So I think a lot of those people will start to sell because they can't pay the mortgage again and again and again without income. So is there going to be a dip? I think there will be either a slowdown or a dip. We're not feeling it right now because it hasn't hit everybody. The government's still funding people. Mortgage companies are giving forgiveness, deferred payments, which is awesome. We love that.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're not going to see that, I don't think, for 6 months or longer. But I think we will obviously feel the effect of it. It's just right now, everybody's asking me like, is it a good time to get into real estate? I'm like, it's the best time because you want to be there before the wave, right? Like when you surf, you want to get to that peak so you can ride that surf in. So people that want to learn and educate themselves on real estate, like you're sitting at home in a 30-day quarantine on top of a 15 you already had. Like now's the time to self-educate. Now's the time to buy a course. Now's the time to talk to people, interview people, listen to podcasts, and educate yourself. So I think that it is going to come a little bit, but I don't think it's anything like 2008 because that was all financially driven. We had so many houses on the market back then. Right now, we don't. Right. There's not this big influx of properties for sale. That's why we're still selling them. Alex, we have a property we started our second day of renovation on it. Like yesterday, that was our second day. We put it under contract for $4,000 over what we want for it, and we didn't even put it on the market.
That's crazy.
So
crazy, man.
I just want to encourage people, like, don't wait for the bottom to fall out, so to speak, when every investor jumps in. Educate yourself now and get your feet wet because there's still going to be a learning curve for you. So learn it, and then when it hits or when the dip comes, and you're instead of buying at 80 cents, 70, 80 cents on the dollar, you're buying at 50 or 60. You're already prepared. You've already gone through the hard learning curve, and now you're flying. You have your money set up. You have your contractors lined up. You're ready to rock and roll. So
love it. That's cool. And I have to say this real quick side note before we move on here. This is not what this this thing is about, but flippinexperts.com, probably the best online course for getting into real estate investing. And I can say that because Paul and I are in a mastermind together. So side note there, check that out if you're serious about this. And now seriously is the best time to do that. But anyway, tell me what you guys are doing that is good right now. Talk to me about how you guys are giving back.
So Alex, I have to say I was reluctant when Paul came to me this morning
about
and said that you had asked us to be on the show because I'm not the kind of person to kind of share all that we're doing. I like to be more behind the scenes, especially when it comes to doing good deeds. But we had a long conversation this morning and we want to share what we're doing because we want to make more of an impact and we want people to join us and help the community. Yeah. So
I think people need it more than ever right now, by the way, Kelsey. I think people need it. I understand that because I'm that way too. I don't like to necessarily throw it all out there because I do it out of the kindness of my heart, like you guys do as well. It's not about who sees it or anything like that. But right now, people need something to grab onto. They need it. They need the help. And there's some people that are quiet about it. And I realized when I started searching for how to help do good, I couldn't find it because people weren't even talking about it.
Yeah.
So it's an important time to be talking about it so people can get involved. So yeah, well, let's hear what you guys got. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So part of Flipping Experts is a side hustle, as you guys like to call it in your industry.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
thank you.
We have a side hustle that just gives back to the community, and it's called Flippin Impact. And we created it a while ago. We build wheelchair ramps for handicapped people in our community. We deliver food. We do all these different things that help our immediate local community, because that's where we live. That's where we know people. That's where the impact, that's where our desire is to help our community first and then go out from there. So a couple days ago, Kelsey and I were just hanging out outside by the campfire, and we had this impression, this thought that, hey, we need to do something during this. And it kind of hit us like a ton of bricks that there's a lot of kids right now that aren't in school, right? Schools are closed. Everybody's homeschooling, so to speak, at home learning, whatever we call it. But all these meal programs that were happening in schools, some of them are still happening. Some of them aren't. Some of them, the kids can't get to the school, right? Because the bus isn't picking them up. And holidays. So yesterday was a holiday. Monday's a holiday. There's nobody getting meals. So that's not part of the school program. On weekends, these kids don't get meals. So mom and dad, or single mom or single dad that got laid off from their job and their job's not paying them, have no money, no meals for their kids, not just missing lunch, but now what about breakfast and dinner? So it kind of hit us hard, and we reached out to a couple people in our local community, and one of them's a restaurant owner. And we said, hey, how do we help them? How do we know there's strict boundaries or strict rules, but like, we're putting some cash in this. We're putting our heart, like, we want to go serve up there. How do we make an impact? And we just came together with the community and decided to provide meals for kids. And it was crazy. Like 8 or 9 would walk in from the health department. The health department, we reached out to them. We reached out to local churches. We reached out to local community leaders, and they're all grasping at people. And Alex, like, first it was like 9 kids come in, and they're all raggedy, and it just like it broke our hearts to actually see that they were willing to walk to this restaurant to get food. And all of a sudden a van pulls up, and then a bus pulls up, and it's like these kids just want something to eat. They don't want anything else. They just like, so for us, Flipping Impact said, hey, we're putting money in this. Our first day, Alex, we spent over $1,000 just providing meals to kids.
That's amazing.
And this is like
little town.
In our little town, and probably I think we thought about the idea for this Flipping Impact, and with like 7, 8 o'clock at night. And this is by the next morning to spend $1,000 just on some meals. And they're like, we got a phone call yesterday. Can we keep doing this? Can we do more?
That's so cool.
For us, when you asked, like, hey, share with us what you do, we were like, oh, we really don't want to share this. And then we saw, hey, we can make a lot bigger impact if more people get on board.
We're better together. For
us, instead of $1,000 a day, can you imagine if we could do $5,000 or $10,000 a day? How many more children, not just 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day, but like, what if we were able to provide all 3, or instead of just hitting 1 or 2 counties, hit 5 counties or 10 counties in Florida or wherever. So that's kind of our heart behind it, was just to give people the basic need, dude, food, right? Food and shelter. Like, I feel like Flippin Experts, we've always been called to serve. We've always been called to give back. We've always been called to bring other people along for the ride and pull people up, not just, pull ourselves up or take advantage of real estate deals, but we take our personal funding from flipping houses and just give it back to the community. And we fix houses up in our community. We help people build stuff in our community that can't afford it. So this really just hits home for us, because we are very big on special needs kids, at-risk youth. Like, that's something huge on our hearts. So
well, we just love helping people. And even when we're flipping houses, we take something broken and we restore it and make it something beautiful. And that's the same with people. People are broken and they just need some love, some help, some restoration, so they can be what they're meant to be. So we're flipping houses and flipping lives too.
That's awesome. That's a great way to say it right there. You know, I mean, the three basic needs every human has is food, clothing, and shelter, right? That's it. And you guys are covering two of those, which is incredible. I love what you guys are doing and that you're being so intentional with impacting lives the way you can in your own community. I think that that's what's going to take right now for humanity to get through the season we're in, is each of us to step up and be willing to give back to our community. You know, I think some of us were looking at, okay, like look, there's a big need over here. Like, you know, these other countries that need help. But here's the deal. Your neighborhood, there might be someone who's not eating. It's one of your neighbors. Like, find what you can do in a small level. And you guys started with $1,000 a day, which is far more than me or most of us will. But here's the deal. If you can find one person to help feed or clothe or give them somewhere to stay, like that's incredible. And like you guys said, you guys are servants at heart. And I think that that's what the world needs right now. So Flippin Experts, thank you for what you guys do. Paul and Kelsey, I really appreciate you guys being on the show today.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah. Hey, Alex, if people do want to give, they can just go to the Flippin Experts social media, Flippin, there's no G, Experts. And there's a GoFundMe thing. And they can, I don't care if it's
sweet.
$5,
Okay.
Alex. If it's $5, that gives somebody a meal. So a lot of people, I feel right now with the virus going on, they, like you said in the beginning, they want to give, they want to help, but they're afraid to go out into the community because they might get sick or they might bring it home to a family member. Well, this is the perfect opportunity for them to give and make an impact and still keep their family safe and healthy. So that's a great a tool for them. So they can just go on there and donate, and that money, 100% of it goes straight to these kids.
Love it, man. Good call to action there. I really appreciate you stopping me and sharing that right there.
You taught me that, Alex. You taught me that, buddy.
I did. Thank you. I can tell you, listen, I love that. So Flippin Experts, find them on social media and donate if you're not sure what to do, and it keeps you at home. Love it, guys. Thank you again for being on the show. Appreciate you both.
Thanks, Alex.